Hello everyone. Hope you guys are doing great. Okay, so let me share the screen because we have again a very interesting topic, right, to cover up. Okay, so let me take first of all one firewall. Let me take 14 at firewall. Let me save it and let's take one bridge just to make the topology complete. Windows. Let me decrease the RAM. And one we need management interface, or maybe we can consider the ISP directly. Let us connect together. Okay, so let me start the devices. IP for WAN, it is going to be 192.160.168.10. Let's say 27/24. For LAN, of course, it is going to be 172.16.0.0/16. Just a minute. /16. Okay, so it is, let us configure the management. Okay, so booting process is going on. Okay, so today we are going to cover the security profiles. We are going to talk about the security profiles, how to implement the security profiles and all that stuff we are going to cover, but not complete because there are a lot of other features also. So three options we are going to cover. The first option, we are going to cover the antivirus. Second, we are going to cover the web filtering. And third, we are going to cover the web rating override. Okay, so these three things we are going to cover today. So let me configure first of all the firewall. Okay, so 1 2 3 config system interface, edit port 1, set mode static, set IP. So 192.168.10.27/24, set allow access HTTP, and finally end. Okay, so basically to complete the task 100% with the security profile, we need to have the license, right? We should have the license firewall, but for a practice, definitely you can create profiles. You cannot apply profiles in the live data filtering, for the data filtering, but you can create a lot of the as per the requirement 27. Let us access first of all, so that you should get complete idea what we are talking about. So you can see till now, right, of from I think almost 1 month, we are covering the policies from the firewall. But till date, we have whatever the traffic we have allowed from the WAN to LAN, or maybe from LAN to WAN, that was unsecured traffic. Okay, so that was completely unsecured traffic because we have not implemented, actually. No doubt we have created the firewall policies, but creating a policy does not mean that you are trying to secure the traffic or you are trying to filter the traffic. So today we will understand how to filter the traffic. Okay, so let me log in into it. We'll begin with this. Let's leave it the host name as default. Okay, so let's go back to the interface. So you can see port number 1, we are working as WAN. So let me name it as WAN. So rest everything is okay. And port number 2, we are treating as the LAN. So let me go back here, LAN, and the role is also going to be LAN. So IP 172.16.0.1/16 16. Let me allow ping and okay. Okay. So let's go back to DNS. 8.8.8.8 and 1.1.1.1. And let me go back to security route. So default route going to be 10.1, and you can see we are going to create a firewall policy. Till now, no doubt we have created the firewall policy so many times, but the policy which we have implemented, that was not the secure one. Why it is not the secure one? Let me complete the task. You can see from source we are saying all, from destination we are saying all, from services also we are saying all, right? So everything should be, everything, whatever the traffic reaching from WAN to LAN, we are accepting that, and definitely we are saying all session and okay, right? So you can see no security profile. You can see under the security profile it is saying no inspection, right? So which means no inspection means if any traffic trying to reach from WAN to LAN or LAN to WAN is not inspected at all. Why it is not inspected? You can see if I double click on this, you can see there are a lot of security profile options are available, but all the options as of now are on disabled stage. Why? Because the firewall which we are using is now not a licensed one. So which means we are not allowed to use the security profile, but definitely we can create, we can understand each and everything, and we can definitely try to deploy as well. The end result you will not get, but definitely it is, you can apply the security profiles. And today we are only going to cover the antivirus and a web filter. Okay, there are going to be DNS filter as well, application control as well, IPS is there, filter is there. Okay, so let us go with the antivirus first of all. So basically, if I enable the antivirus policy, there is a default policy available, right? So if I click OK, and you can see the default policy is active, right? So you can see it is activated now. Now it is not saying under the security policy, you can see it now, it is not saying it no inspection. Now it is saying certificate inspection, right? SSL certification inspection. So which means something, definitely whatever the policy or maybe whatever the conditions are defined under the default antivirus profile, it is applicable now. Now if, say for example, now if any traffic try to reach from WAN to LAN, right? Because our policy from LAN to WAN or WAN to LAN also, if any traffic try to reach the LAN, so definitely it is not allowed. If the firewall will find something fishy as per the security profile which is there, right? So it will try to inspect that, right? So how we'll come to know about what all things are there in the default antivirus? So let us understand first of all what is antivirus, right? So basically antivirus profile protect against viruses, worms, and Trojan and spyware download. If anything, any packet from public to private is reaching to your local area network and having some sort of virus or maybe the worms, Trojan, spyware, something like that, if any code are found there in the traffic header or maybe carrying hiddenly, so definitely it is going to protect that, right? It is going to act on that. So antivirus solution provide protection for client without impacting the performance. That is the most important part, right? The profile scan for a wide variety of malwares in executable files, right? The executable programs, you can say PDF files and HTML, right? So these are few major sources where the antivirus, wire, Trojan, and spyware kind of you can say the small programs and very harmful programs, you can say, are encoded between the executable file, PDF files, and HTML files. Okay, so this profile scan for JavaScript virus as well. inside the compressed file and data encoded schemes, right? So you can just go through the entire line by line. All the required conditions are written out there. You can download this PDF file, which is already available there in the study material section. Okay, now how you can see the mode. There are two modes, right? One is proxy mode, one is flow mode, right? So what is proxy mode, what is flow mode? You can Google it out. So definitely I'm going to explain this in upcoming future lectures. So you can see, if you deploy the profile, if you deploy any firewall policy under the flow, so HTTP inspection mode is available, FTP, or you can see all mode at maximum available in the flow and proxy. But you can see, if you go with the flow, so MAPI, that is not the option available, right? SSH is not available, right? For the antivirus, the rest everything is available. Now you can see, if we try to create the antivirus lab, so where to create? So you can see, here we are there on the policy and object. Below that we have the security profile option. Now if I click on the security profile option, you can see we have antivirus, web filter, video filter, DNS filter, application control, intrusion prevention system, file filter, SSH and SSL inspections, application signatures, IPS signature, right? Web rating override. We are not going to cover everything from here. Definitely, as per this level, a lot of things we are going to cover. So now let me click on the antivirus. Okay, let me click on the antivirus. And you can see, by default, what we have used the default one, right? So what the command you can read, you can see it is saying scan files and block viruses. Okay, so if I double click on this to check what all things are covered here, so you can see, if definitely it is going to scan the antivirus. If something found, it is going to block that traffic, right? We have two options, like we can go only with the monitor option, right? So it is going to create a log for that. But if you go with the monitor, it will not act on that, it will not block, it will not drop that packet, but it will only allow you to monitor the things. Okay, so better option is to block. If something is there related to virus, so definitely it should be blocked, right? And you can see feature, flow base or proxy base. So by default we are going with the flow base, and these are few protocols which are generally considered to transmit the traffic from any source to any source, right? So you can see HTTP, it should be inspected. SMTP, the email, you can say POP3, IMAP, FTP, and CIFS, right? So these are a few protocols which you can enable or disable as per your requirement. Which protocol to be you can say to inspect, because all these are maximum infected protocols which they carry the virus kind of the programs, right? Which, where you can see HTTP, again it is unsecure. SMTP, definitely it is going to transmit everything. POP3, email. IMAP, email. FTP, of course it is going to be the file transfer protocol, right? So definitely it is going to impact on your executable file. You see can be transferred through the FTP, or maybe PDF files, or maybe some sort of you can say the programs, applications. So all these protocols are carrying all that stuff, right? Where we can search for the virus. So you can see there is a advanced protection option is also there. Thread window executable in the email attach as virus, right? So you can see there are a lot of emails, because these are a few email protocols which generally handle the email send and receive options, right? So these are the protocols like SMTP, POP3, IMAP. So these are protocols which are used for the email communication. And you can see there are a lot of attachments are there in with every emails. or not every email. You can see maximum emails today we receive the some kind of you can say the attachment. Maybe zip file is there, maybe executive file is there, maybe some other file PDF file is there, right? So that attachment should also be inspected, right? Include the mobile malware protection, right? There might be the lot of user nowadays, because now mobile are a very handy and can be used for the email communication purpose, right? So definitely we need to scan the mobile traffic as well, right? So if you want all the traffic, if anything found, it should be quarantine, so you can enable this, otherwise you can leave it, because we are already taken the action which is called block, right? So basically virus outbreak prevention. So virus outbreak prevention based, it will be applicable, uh, through the database. You need to have the updated signature from the Fortinet firewall database server, then only it is going to work, otherwise it is not going to work. Okay, now you can see we cannot do anything with the name, but what we can do is either we can directly create our own, we can directly create our own, or what we can do is just copy this, clone it, name, provide the name. Let's say I'm going to provide the tgm-av antivirus, right? Let me create this, and you can see we have created the same, everything is same, right? Now I am going to use this one. So let me go back to firewall policy, let me click here. In place of the default, now I can use the tgm av, right? And I can click on the apply, and you can see the tgm antivirus security profile is applicable now. Okay, so now if I try to open reach, you can see under the lab, you can see we have some everything is written out here one by one. You can see everything is written, how to apply each and every concept is clearly visible. You can visit this option like ipinfo.info, right? So let me go back, let me copy from here, let me go back to open the computer, let me enter the the password first. Let us try whether it is available, because even though I have my office internet, the firewall as well, so I don't know whether it is going to allow us or not. Let me check on that. Let us configure the IP 172.16.0.2 and 172.16.0.1, a.a.a.8 and 1.1.1.1. Let me see whether we are reachable to internet or not. So let me ping 1.1.1.1. Okay, we are reachable to internet. That's perfectly fine. Now let me open the browser. Right. So here, let me first of all open the google.com. And you can see we are reachable to internet. Okay. So now if I try to open that, this URL, ipinfo.info, let me write ipinfo.info/html, then it should be testvirus.php. Okay, testvirus.php. Let us see whether we are able to reach this website or not. EICHER not the iShare. And you can see it is not opening. EICAR. EICAR. Okay. So let me EICAR dot. Okay. So basically, there are few websites which are basically, provided to page cannot found, no problem. So which are, designed to test the security, the antivirus profiles. So you can search with the word called EICAR. Okay. So so that you can test the antivirus profiles. Okay. So let's wait for some time. It is taking a long time. And you can see this, or the website is open. Okay. So you can see here it is saying the your connection is not private. Okay. Because we are trying to access the unauthorized. Let me click advanced. Let me click here to browse the unsafe. And you can see it is not secure one. Okay. So it is communicating through the HTTP, not the with the S. So definitely we have already enabled the HTTP protocol. So basically this URL will not, this should, the URL will, use to download the file which is carrying some malware into it. But if it is not downloadable, some kind of error we can see. So which means it is working perfectly fine, the antivirus profile. If it is downloaded, that means your profile is not working as per the recommendations. And let me search for download option. If okay, here it is. So let me download, or we can click here as well. But you can see we have already clicked here, so no problem. So basically it will take a lot of time, so let's not wait into. Okay. And you can see connection is not secure. Let me go back here. Let me click here. And you can see it is visible, right? It is visible. But if it is visible, which means your profile is not working. Your profile, antivirus profile, actually not scanning. Why it is allowing? Because the first option, we do not have the license firewall. Second option is we do not have the updated signature available, right? So these are two conditions. That is why we are not able to scan the profile. You can see if I click on the implicit deny. So let me go back to log forward traffic, and you can see there is no block option available. Under the, you can see from if anything is blocked, if definitely you should have the license for that. Under the antivirus, whatever the blocked or maybe carrying some kind of malware, right? So that will be listed out here, right? You can check on the user base which user is downloading or maybe having a lot of virus profiles. So definitely you can check the computer of that particular user, so that you can make your network more secure. Okay. So that's the first option. It will not act as per your recommendation, because we do not have the updated footprints, and of course we do not also have the license one. That's the first option. Second option, we have the web filter. Web filter, you can see we can also go with the default of web filtering option, right? You can see here a lot of things are available. So let us create a, let me go create a clone for the default one. And let me, okay, let me edit this. So I'll name it as tgm-web. Okay, tgm-web. So again, the flow base or the proxy base, you can see here it is saying the 40 guard category base filter. So definitely there are a lot of websites available across the world, right? There are a lot of website, maybe in billion or maybe trillions websites are available nowadays there in the world, but all the websites are categorized somehow. Like there are a lot of website uh, you know categorized under the drug. There are hackings, illegal and unethical, है ना? So discrimination. So then you can see proxy, then pilgrims, child, then terrorism, crypto mining, है ना? So you can see these are major categories. You can see here there are few major categories, and all the major categories also having a subcategories as well. All the website across the world are categorized under this, but there are certain websites which are not listed here, okay, which are not categorized. Say for example, if the website is just created a few hours ago or maybe few days ago, that will not be categorized. So if you want to block that website, so definitely you can use the special URL to block that. So you can see here all the websites you can enable or disable. So custom one, there is no, what is custom one? Nothing is, no option is available. I don't want the website, say for example here, I don't want the website which are categorized under the drug abuse. So I don't want all the website which are categorized under the drug abuse should be available in my local area network. I don't want that. Let me block this. Any website having information or maybe used for the hacking purpose, not allowed. Illegal and unethical, not allowed, right? So you can see whatever the category you don't want to be allowed in your local area network, you can just block them. Okay, you can just block them. And you can see there are a lot of website by default it is blocked. And bandwidth consumption, you can see freeware and software download. So if you don't want the any website allowing the software download, you can go with the warning as well, right? If you click on the warning, so what will happen if any user try to visit some website which have the like freeware and the software download option available, so definitely user will get the warning from Fortinet firewall, from your end basically, because you are using the Fortinet firewall to secure the connection, right? Secure the IT infra. So that user will get warning. So do not visit this website, whatever the default message is displayed out there. So don't worry, I will show you from where you can customize the warning message with like allowed, block, or authentication. Like if you can say authenticate, so definitely even though user is already authenticated, if they try to visit some website which is not allowed, right, or maybe have authenticated, so that user have to again authenticate to visit that particular website. Okay, so that's how you can define. Let's say I don't want any website which having the radio and the TV, so I don't want to allow that. So these are few categories, a lot of categories you can see here, not few, there are predefined categories are available. Okay, so let me click here. So these are few categories which are by default created, right? And 93 subcategories are available in this. You can see general interest personal and general interest business. So you can see there are a lot of websites like related to finance and banking, search engine and portals, right? Businesses. So these are few categories. You don't, if you don't want, you can block that. If you want, you can allow that. Simple, right? So this will help you to permit which website to be allowed and which is not to be allowed. There are options available. Say for example, there are some categories which you don't want a normal user to access, but there are few users you want the higher management, you can say, and for them that website should be available, right? You can enable from here, allow user to override the block categories. and you can categorize that, create a separate group for the higher management, and you can add the group, which group should be allowed, and put that user into that particular group. Okay, so that particular group will be allowed up, even though the above you have created. Let me create the group, let's say tgm-grp, usr-grp user group. Okay, let me create some user as well. Let me create local user with the name of, let's say, user 1 and password 123456. No authentication, everything is okay. Okay, so let me add here, and you can add the number of user into that particular group if that user should be allowed the blocked the categories to access, right? You can also define the profile name. Okay, you can also go with the profile, which profile should be allowed and which profile should not be allowed. Okay, so from which profile that particular user should be use the category which are there in the block list. Switch apply to user base, right? Or maybe user group base, IP base, and or maybe ask base. Okay, so you can go with the, we are going with the user, so definitely you can click on the user as well, and you can click on the user group as well. Okay, now switch duration. So if some user trying to visit the website which is categorized under the block or maybe warning, so how many days and how many minutes and how many hours that person should be allowed to access that website. Okay, so you can categorize or you can define here. Then there is a static filter, a URL filter as well. Block the invalid URLs, right? If any website is having some invalid URL, that should be blocked, right? If you want like URL filter, so if any website is not listed under here and that website is allowed in your local area network and it is still opening and you want that particular website to be blocked, so you can click the URL filtering and create here, right? You can define the conditions like, right, what is simple, what is regular expression, what is wildcard. All the options are available there in the under the web filter. Let me open the web filter and you can see everything is web filter. You can see everything is available here. Okay, under the lab, I think under the lab all the options are written here. You can see what does simple means. Okay, so simple means if anything written like www.facebook.com, right? Example, say for example www.facebook.com, right? If I click simple, so which means if perfect URL will matching, right? If the perfect URL is matching, then only it will take action, whether it is to block, allow, monitor, right? So let me try to block the Facebook. Now, if somebody put www.facebook.com, then only it is going to block that. Okay. Now, say for example, somebody trying to open the Facebook like maybe fb.com, right? So fb.com, so definitely fb.com is not blocked here earlier, right? If I write facebook.com, so fb.com will not be covered in that. So what I want is I want the regular expression. So what does this irregular expression means? Here you can see. So FortiGate try to match the pattern based on the rules and a regular expression or wildcard. If enter FA, right? FA ** in the URL field, it match all the content that has FA such as facebook.com, messenger.facebook.com, or maybe fast.com, right? So any URL carrying FA will be blocked. If you say star means anything before and in between FA, then after the FA, anything else apart from the FA, right? So that means regular expression. Okay, so that is the option. Wildcard, definitely it will be going with the all the conditions available. So you can go with the simple, you can go with the regular expression, and you can go with the wildcard. So here is the option to block any specific website, or maybe that website is by default blocked due under this categorization. So what you want is, you want that particular website to be allowed. Let me go with, say for example, TGM ACAD is blocked due to the categorization, but I want this to be allowed. So I will write tgmacad.com. It should be allow, and okay, you can see as per the action you can define here. Okay, block the malicious URL discovered by the 40 sandbox. 40 sandbox means the FortiGate FortiGate, the database server. Okay, then content filtering, right? There are a lot of like content filtering. Somebody writing, say for example, if somebody write account, so I don't want the account word. If any file or any content is carrying this, or maybe email or under the browsing or any attachment carrying the name like account, that should not be allowed from LAN to WAN, or maybe WAN to LAN, vice versa. So you can enable that. It should be blocked, and regular expression, right? And okay, so you can see, you can go with the content filtering as well, right? There is a rating option. Allow the website when a rating error occurred, right? So what is rating error? So definitely we are going to cover few sometime, not few days, because we are going to cover today only under the web overriding rating override. Okay, so you can see there are a lot of options available. So let me check the profile. Let me select the default one and click OK. So TGM web is enabled. So let me go back to firewall policy. Let me click here. Now under this web filter, let me enable this, and let me go with the TGM web, right? So TGM web is also now applicable to this particular security policy. Now any traffic try to reach from local area to WAN, or maybe WAN to LAN, so this particular both security profile like antivirus and the web filter will be checked. Okay, if something is not allowed, then it should be blocked. Then if it's something is blocked, so definitely it should not be allowed, or if it is allowed, then only it should be available there in the local area network. Now there is a concept called web rating override. So what exactly web rating override is? So changing the rating of for a website and control access to the site without affecting the rest of the site in the original category is possible, right? All the websites are categorized and having some sort of rating on it. Okay, so that is having a rating on that. So you can say, say for example, you can see udemy.com, it is blocked. But why it is blocked? Maybe under the education category we have blocked all the categories. What I want is, I want this particular website to be available there in the local area network. Why it is blocked? Because the security categories is saying it is categorized under the security risk. So definitely if it is categorized under, by mistake it is categorized under the security risk, so it will be blocked by the firewall. So what we can do is, we can go to the web rating override, and we can change the rating of this particular website. So how to do that? So let's go back to firewall. Let's go to security profile, and you can see we have the web rating override. Now you can see nothing is categorized here. Show the original category if you want, you can list here. Now if I try to create here, right? So let me say tgmarcad.com, right? So you can see we cannot check the existing rating for this website. Why? Because the device is not licensed for the 40-guard web filtering option. Okay. For this to perform, if you want to check the any rating for any website, you can go to web rating override and write the domain and look for the rating. If it is perfectly fine, then there is no issue. If you want to allow, so definitely you can change the rating from here. It's under the general business or maybe general purpose, personal, right? Subcategory, what kind of this website is, it is under the education. You can write the comment as well. Okay, then you can click on the OK button. You can see this website, if it is by default, right, categorized under some security risk. Now, because you have added here under the general interest and personal and under the subcategory of education, so definitely this website will be allowed in your local area network. Okay, then there is a web profile override, right? So web profile means you can go with the user, you can use the original profile, like which profile, new profile, right? If you have multiple profile to match each other, so you can go with this option. Okay, so of course it is not used that much, the web profile override. Web rating override, definitely it is used. Web filter is used, antivirus is used. So that's all for today session, and I am hoping that you will have, if you have the license firewall, then you can just go and check. You can try to create yourself new antivirus profile and web filter profile and try to use here, apply to some policy and check on the computer in your local area network whether these policies are applicable or not. How to check if something is blocked? So you can go to log and report, and you can see under the antivirus, if anything is blocked, you will be seen here. Okay, if something related to web filter, you can check here. If something related to SSL, you can check here. DNS query, check here. File filter, check here. Application control, check here. IP prevention, so definitely you can check here, right? Anomaly is different, so definitely you will learn about the anomaly there in the NSE 6, not in our the NSE 4. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you guys understood about the security profile, about antivirus and web filter. So definitely we are going to, in coming future, we are going to cover the web video filter, DNS filter, application filter, intrusion prevention system, and finally file filter. So these are the options which are available there in the syllabus. So SSL inspection and application signature, IPS signature. So definitely you can check on the, you can search on the YouTube. You will see some creator, uploaded the something related to IP signature, application signature. You can check on that. You can work as per the guidance, or maybe you can join the NSE 6 to complete the rest of the options which are not covered in the NSE 4. Okay, so that's all for today. See you in the next class. Till then, stay safe. Goodbye.